Hello and welcome. I'm Barry Winbolt, and this is Tinycast number 9. And I got to thinking about this the other day because I was writing and I got distracted, but it turned out to be all for the good. So, do you write about things often? Because I read a little quote that got me thinking still further on the same day that I had that curious experience of being distracted by my own writing. And it said, writing about one problem often exposes others that are more important. And I thought, wow, Tinycast coming up. Now, I have to pay tribute. I quote from the FS blog, and the link is in the notes. And they do a tiny thoughts, I think it is, every day. And I stumbled across them when I was researching Tinycast, in fact, to see if there was another one. And, well, they're kind of a few pale imitations, although can they imitate me because they started before me? I don't know. But anyway, this is the original and the best as far as I'm concerned. And I have to pay tribute to those others who went before me, but in particular, FS blog. I have no connection, by the way, just I recommend it if you like this sort of thing, some stuff to prompt some thinking early in the day. They certainly do that well enough. So back to writing. Writing about one problem often exposes others that are more important. Well, let's think about writing in general. What about journaling? I really admire people who've kept a diary from birth or as soon as they could write and that sort of stuff, because I don't. I'm not disciplined enough. I wish I had. I think it's too late now because I've missed about, probably 72 years I've missed out. So assuming I could sort of scribble by the time I was 5 or 6. So a bit late for me. But nevertheless, I do use it a lot in my work. I used it a lot in my study when I was doing my various bits of studying I've done through my life. Because keeping a journal, keeping a learning journal, if you're training for something, is really useful because it allows you to reflect on what you've learned and so forth. But keeping a life journal, same thing. You actually find as you write, you begin to work through your emotions and examine the problem from different perspectives, or the situation, as it may be. It may not be a problem for you. And I think the reason for this comes from another part of my work, which I put 2 and 2 together and assume this is why it is, but could be wrong, but works for me, which is that when you write something down, you make it an object in front of you. It's no longer in your head. And this works just as well between 2 of you if you're trying to sort out a problem, as long as you're respectful enough to do the process without snapping at each other or biting each other's heads off. So writing helps you to get it on paper, and that act of writing something down, and I don't think a word processor works, I don't think a computer works, or a phone works, although that may be a generational thing, try it and see. But writing with a pen is really good for a number of reasons. It's a reflective process. You have to stop and do it. You have to find a quiet spot and devote a bit of space to it. Now, these are all good things in a busy day to do in themselves. And then just start jotting the ideas down. You don't have to write great prose or the first chapter of a novel. It can be a one-liner, but it will start a cognitive process. I promise you, it'll start you thinking in a different way about whatever it is, good, bad, or indifferent, whatever it is you're writing about, because it slows you down and it encourages the mind to look at things from different perspectives. And you get quicker at it the more you do it. So keep a notebook, is my advice. Jot it down on the tube, in the metro, on the bus, when you're walking, when you're waiting in the supermarket, whatever it is. When those thoughts come in, if you think it's deep, profound, or even significant, jot it down. And then when you get a moment, write about it a bit more and see what unfolds, because I find that it does. Things definitely unfold, and I learn about it, whatever it is, and I learn about myself. So writing things down, even though you may not solve the problem you're writing about, you might reveal something else that is going to be helpful to you. And in the best of all possible worlds, you'll even find the solution. This has been Tinycast number 9. I'm Barry Winbolt. Over to you. Have a great day.